Hi tennis friends and yogi friends. I'm Lisa Jane Vargas, and I'd like to bring to you today a short practice in yoga and fitness for our tennis game, and including our tennis racket and some healing poses in yoga that will both help our tennis game and just our overall fitness. So let's begin. We're going to start standing on your mat with your big toes together and about an inch space between your heels. In mountain pose, bring your arms down by your sides. Your thighs are rotated out, coming open. It's very slight, a slight feeling, but to open the thighs this way. As you bring your arms down by your side, we're going to engage what we call the bandhas, or the line that comes up the center of the body internally from the core up into the chest. So that helps your spine stay nice and tall. And then our shoulders are just going to roll back and down the spine. You can close your eyes and gently tuck your chin in so it's not jetting out forward. Relax your arms down. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And as you take your breath, feel the oxygen fill up the belly and the lungs. And as it exhales, it releases through the belly and the lungs. So you're really feeling that oxygen flow through your entire core, not just the chest area, where a lot of times, especially if we're anxious, we tend to breathe more shallow in the chest. So just do 2 more rounds of that breath in and out through the mouth. One more time, breath in. Let go of any stressors from the day and breathe it out through the mouth. Great, let's take a breath in as you raise your arms up to the sky. Bring palms together and bring your hands right down the center of the body to the chest and the heart center, relaxing shoulders, keeping your feet planted into the ground, into the mat, squeezing your seat, keeping that core engaged. Let's take another breath in as you reach up overhead. Maybe look up to your palms. And as you slide down the center of the body with your palms to meet your chest, exhale. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale as we come down with hands to heart center. One more round, breathing in. And exhale. Quadriceps are nice and tight as our legs are still grounded into the floor, into the ground, into the mat. Hold yourself here with palms to chest, relaxing shoulders. Maybe add a little smile, relaxing the jaw, letting the tension in your face just release and melt away. Any tension between the eyebrows. And bring your arms down to your sides and just shake out your arms. Maybe shake out the legs. Great. All right, let's bring your feet about hip width apart. We're going to take arms out in front, just about shoulder level, palms facing down. Then let's take palms face up. Fingertips are going to come in towards shoulders and extend out into shoulders and extend out. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. This might not look like much, but we're really warming up shoulders, elbows. This is something you can do at the beginning or even end of your time on the court. Adding the breath with each movement. You can make a pace slower or faster depending on your day. Bring the fingertips touching in. Let's bring your elbows out to the sides. And we're just going to do little circles with the elbows. So pretend there's a pencil on the end of your elbows and you're drawing circles with those pencils. And with your fingertips, you can actually even feel the deltoid muscles. Just moving, bringing in some of that synovial fluid into the joint, which is what we want into our joints. And let's reverse. So reverse the circle in the opposite direction. Maybe really opening up that chest. Our legs are our anchors as we do upper body work. So your toes are free. The balls of the feet are planted into the ground with the heels. And adding your breath, maybe closing your eyes. This could be meditative as well. And elbows down, shoulders down, release arms down, mountain pose. Great, so hopefully your racket is near you, and if not, you can use a towel or just without any prop. Let's take the end of our racket, placing palms down, and we're going to reach up overhead. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And hold it shoulder level. This time extend your hand to the end of the racket so we have both ends on hold with hands. And we're going to take a twist to the right and to the left. And just want to be mindful of twisting here so that we're keeping the hips facing forward as much as possible. And your twist begins with the base of the spine, middle, upper spine, and then head. So in any twist you do, you want to start with the base of the spine and then coming up to head and eyes. It's really a very good exercise to stretch your eyeballs, your eyes to the side as well. So looking over the shoulder into a deep stretch even with your eyes. We use our eyes a lot in tennis. It's very important to keep those exercised as well. Great, and come back to center and lower your racket. We're going to just turn to the side. This is one of my favorites that I do a lot on the court. So this time bring your feet about hip width apart again, planting into the mat. Balls of your feet, spread your toes, press the heel into the mat and tighten up the quadriceps. Your hands can go in the first position that we had, just on the handle. Take behind your back. Lower your shoulders down, lift your chest forward, tightening up core, glutes, pressing the racket down And then go ahead and elevate back just as it is comfortable for you so that you're not pinching any of the muscles or joints. Toes, just relax your toes, maybe lift them off the mat. We might tend to grip in these kinds of poses or exercises. And release. Go ahead and press that racket back one more time. Shoulders down, pressing back. Legs are nice and firm into the ground. Chest forward, shoulders down. Chin is tucked in. Instead of up, let's tuck chin. And breathe. And release. Good job, everyone. Go ahead and let go of your racket. This time, let's bring toes together, big toes together, pressing the heels about an inch apart. And you're actually pressing on the outsides of the feet so that you create an arch in your foot as you ground your feet. And then, again, splaying out those thighs as you just roll them out and tightening up the core. We're going to breathe in as we reach up to the sky, bring hands together overhead, clasp your fingers except for pointer fingers facing up. Take a deep breath in and exhale, reach to the side into our half moon pose, pressing opposite hip in the opposite direction. Opening up the chest. The upper shoulder is opening a little bit, so instead of collapsing forward, we're opening and creating space from the hips all the way up to the fingertips. And then as you inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale as we bend into that half moon, other side. Pressing hips away in the opposite direction. Bringing your arms back towards your ears. You see how I just moved my arms and biceps back. And inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, half moon, other side. Inhale. Half moon. Be mindful of not collapsing here, but really extending up and over. And inhale. And then we're going to do a forward fold as we exhale. Reach down, down, down to your toes. Allow the head to fall forward. Allow the head to fall forward as you're in your Uttanasana. Bending knees to sit into a chair, fingertips on the ground. You can bring your hands to hips first so that your belly's lying on top of your thighs. And then if you like, you can bring your arms up to the sky into chair pose. Your seat is reaching back, so your tail is pressing back, sitting into the thighs, strengthening the quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, elevating the arms up by the ears, maybe looking forward. You can look up toward the sky, towards your hands. You have two options for your feet here, either together, which I suggested, or apart. Hip width. Elevate all the way up to the sky, palms together. Bring hands down the center line of the body to the heart. And pause and breathe. Two deep breaths here. Take a deep breath, reach up to the sky. Exhale as you swing down into your forward fold, Uttanasana. Bending knees deep, pressing the belly on the tops of the thighs. Again, hands on hips first. Elevate the upper body to reach up. Maybe your hands, if you're a little tight in your shoulders, open up your arms so that my teacher calls it I-1 arms. So your arms are open, shoulders down, a little wider. Reach up to the sky as you inhale. Palms down to the center of the body and to the heart. And just release your arms down into mountain pose. One last standing pose for upper body and shoulders I'd like to do is it's just a simple stretch. We're going to bring one arm across the chest, keeping your shoulder down. Often I see people raise their shoulder up toward their ear, and it's really not getting into the back deltoid, the rear deltoid, where we really want this stretch. The other hand comes around underneath and pulls across, keeping your knees slightly bent to protect your lower back. Never lock out in your knees or any joint. Always keep a slight bend. And really pull that shoulder down. You're going to feel that all across the upper back and back of the shoulders, into the front of the shoulder. And release that stretch. We're going to take the other side across. Again, mindful of the shoulder dropping down, shoulder blades down the spine. Holding that stretch. And release. Bring yourself down into mountain pose. I actually want to end with one other balance pose, eagle pose. Because that last one just made me remember it. So let's start with your feet hip width apart, bending your knees. Let's start with I started with this side, so let's take your right leg, lifting up. Left leg is slightly bent. This knee is up about hip width height. And we're going to take it across, and if you can wrap around that leg, feel free. The best way to do these balance poses is to find a drishti, a single point to focus in front of you, and keep your focus there. Your foot's planted into the ground. Your bottom leg should be knee forward. When we add arms, the leg that's wrapped around is the same side arm that comes down first as we wrap. Arms and hands. Bring elbows in toward chest to tighten and squeeze out our lymph nodes. A beautiful stretch for getting good nutrients and blood and oxygen into our lymphatic system for good health. And release. Arms out to the side, release leg into star pose. You can tap your toe or balance a little further and come down into mountain pose. Toes together, heels apart slightly. Take a breath. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Just spread your right toes apart, or whatever side you're on. Bending knees, really plant that foot into the ground. I'm big on grounding so that we have a nice firm foundation for our standing poses. Then gently lift up the other leg, knee height, and wrap around the other leg. One leg might be different than the other. Bottom knee facing forward as you bend into and sit into that bottom leg. Arms coming out to the side. And then we're going to wrap arms around into our full eagle expression. You might fall out. You might lose your balance. You might lose your focus. But that's what yoga is about, is sustaining in a pose that might feel uncomfortable. We might not be able to fully express in this moment, this day, but we come back into it. And we persist, and we practice, and breathe. Let's unwind arms, unwind legs into star pose. And release down to mountain pose. Let's take a breath up, reach up. Relax shoulders down as you reach arms overhead. Exhale through the mouth. One last time, inhale. Arms down by your sides. Step feet apart, hip width. Just gently close your eyes. And breathe naturally. If you're like me, you're really missing the tennis court, my tennis friends, our tennis people, the community that we have, the energy that we feel when we're on the court and playing a sport that we love. Be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself. Continue to do your exercises in whatever form that is, whether it's yoga, weightlifting, cardiovascular, hiking, whatever that looks like for you. Keep your body fit so that when we get back onto the courts, we're ready to play. Bring hands together at heart center. The longing tennis player in me honors the longing tennis player in you. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.